Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Manchester United podcast. We've slightly mixed up this time. We've got a couple of rival fans on, but before we introduce our guest for the show, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. If you are joining us live in the studio, make sure you comment your comments down below. Super Red fan, always early, and he's always got the same comment. No, we're not Ollie out in reply to the title of the video. Oh my god, if you haven't seen the title, basically the question is open to the guys. And I suppose the last, the lads from the Chelsea fan base also. The same question for Lampard. Are you moving forward under your managers? Of course, we've got two managers kind of under pressure for different reasons. But first and foremost, let me just introduce the red corner. We have got, it's your boy Beats. And we've got Bobs. Bobs, I need to get a bit intro for you, bro. I've kind of sold you short there. But listen, boys, how we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. So what? It's your boy Bits and Bobs. I'm cool, man. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. And obviously, Beaks, with the hoodie on, man. That means he's come for the smoke. Man's ready.
Oh, you already know what time it is, man. I'm ready.
Listen, I've not spoken to you, but I just know what's gonna go on. Also from the blue corner, we are joined by Prime, who is obviously on the match preview with Benji, and I'm gonna butcher your name every single time, so I'm just gonna say Dub for now. But obviously, I'll let you introduce yourself properly because is it Dubois?
It's Dubois, boy. Dubois.
Oh, Dubois, as in Dubois. Oh, right. I thought he's French, man. I thought he's like French or something. I love it, you know what I'm saying? But listen, we have got Prime and Dubois in the building, boys. How are we feeling?
Yeah, feeling a bit mad about the game,
Everyone's got the exact same reaction, Like both Chelsea made out fans are like, what are we going to say after the game? It was a dead game, man. But listen, obviously we're going to try to dissect as much as we can. I suppose not so much with the game itself. Obviously, we will go over that, but more for the bigger picture and what it means for both managers, both teams moving forward, or potentially moving backwards in some people's opinions. But listen, we'll start with the Man United perspective first and foremost. Prime, we'll come to you as a rival fan. What were your thoughts on the manner in which we approached the game, the lineup? Were you surprised at all with the team selection?
I mean, people would say being at home, you should come out and set the tempo and the onus, but it made sense to me what Ollie did, trying to sit back and win it in the second half through the likes of Pogba and Greenwood. So that made sense, especially the fact that you just played PSG and then you have to play Leipzig on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, in Champions League. So yeah, it did make sense, but unfortunately, and we might get to this later, but unfortunately, Frank did the same thing, trying to be defensive and play on the counter as well. So that just cancelled each other out, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I completely agree in terms of they cancel each other out first and foremost. Bits and Bobs, will come to you, broski, because I've seen your tweets. I know you're not happy. So obviously Prime's saying, in a sense, that Ollie did the right thing. What are your thoughts?
I disagree with Prime because we're Man United. Do you know what I mean? We're the home team, and to be honest, going by results, Chelsea's defence were there to be at. You know what I mean? So I think that in hindsight, I can say I see what he tried to do. However, I say it again, we're Manchester United. We need to win these games. If we're trying to win the league, trying to get into top four, we need to beat teams like Chelsea. And I just think that personally, he bottled it in the first half. 100% bottled it. Second half, I think he tried to tease us a little bit with Pogba.
Man said tease us.
I think he tried to tease us with Pogba. Tarzan came on, and dead, bro. That's why I'm wearing black, man, because it was a funeral, bro. Seriously.
I'm managing to change my hoodie still, man. But the black was over there, Man said it's flipping funeral, But listen, I do agree with what you said, actually. I'm not going to shy away from it. I think, everyone's got their opinions. A lot of people are saying one thing. A lot, some United fans are saying the polar opposite. There's not really any in between at the moment with United fans. It's either like, what the hell has he done, or obviously what he's done. There's not like, there's no balance to it. But for me personally, I do think he bought the first half. with the lineup. I was really disappointed with the lineup. Going into the game, also watched the guys, your guys' video, the match preview on the channel. I watched the whole video, and I seen from obviously Prime in particular, you were very confident Man United would do something, and I was kind of confident that we'd do something. But as soon as I seen the lineup, I was the polar opposite of how I felt prior to seeing the lineup. I thought Chelsea's team was a lot better on paper. I thought you're going to offer way more than you did going forward, and we're just going to soak up pressure, which is weird considering we are home. Duboy, what were your thoughts, bro, on the the lineups from both managers, in particular, Ali, in this case?
To be honest, I mean, as soon as the lineups came out, I was confident. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you compared both teams, it was quite obvious. I think Manchester United weren't as strong as they perhaps could have been. So I was quite surprised about that, actually, because compared to PSG, I mean, obviously pulling off that result was quite a big thing, and I was expecting similar faces to line up against us. So to see, Dan James, it was a relief. But then, and our lineup, I thought we went strong. I mean, three at the back's not the most popular in our fan base, but I thought it would work. So I say when I saw the teams, I was pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. So I think it was a bit of an anticlimax, to be honest.
Yeah, no, listen, I completely agree. Obviously, me, Beaks, we speak very regularly, especially on the WhatsApp group, etc. We've seen that one thing you got to know about our WhatsApp group, right? If the voice notes are being sent, mans are pissed. And there was just voice, I didn't even open them. There's just loads of voice notes from the guys, and I'm like, no, what? Benji's fuming, Beaks is fuming. I was pissed off as well because I was trying to be like one of those like diplomatic fans when you're like, yeah, I can see what he's doing, but then like I gave it 20 minutes, but I'm setting up for the watch along. I thought, what am I? I'm waffling here. Why is Twan not started? Why is Maguire started? Greenwood's on the bench, Cavani's on the bench, Dan James is on pitch, Matic is on, Van der Beek's not playing. We got the bench was genuinely better than the starting lineup. It was an absolute shambles for me in terms of how Ollie approached the game. But Beaks, what were your thoughts, bro? How did you feel when you see the team sheet?
Bro, like, obviously, I spoke to Prime earlier on. We had our discussion and whatnot. I spoke to you about it when I see the lineup. Obviously, on the preview during the week, I did say that Ollie has bipolar in it. And when it comes to things like this is what I meant. Now, why would you try to fix something if it ain't broken? Everything was set up nice in the PSG. You got the plaudits. It's like you don't like praises. I don't understand. Like, you praised him and whatnot. You want us to slate you. I don't get that.
He's not used to that.
I don't understand that. And then all of a sudden, he just switched it up. And I see James. I said, what's going on here? The lineup was a mess. The whole thing was a mess. Like, I don't understand why Maguire's coming in. You already know that he's off form. Do you get what I'm saying? The guy is off form. You bring him in, makes no sense. And on top of that, he pulls out a flipping triangle chokehold, Khabib style on Aspilicueta. We could have conceded a penalty, bro, earlier during the game. And then Chelsea go 1-0 up. What happens? Do you understand? It's if buts and maybes, but I just didn't like the lineup. And on top of that, the game was just dead. We had nothing. All right, we had a few chances. Did we take it? No. You understand what I'm saying, bruv? Like, just to echo what Bob said, yeah, bruv. This is Man United. We're at OT, but we looked like the side that was away. After the whole game was ended, Lampard had a frown on his face. I'm seeing Ollie still showing teeth, G.
Bro.
Things like that, yeah, just really annoy me. And I'm just looking at that. I'm thinking, what's there to be smiling about, bro? I don't understand what's so funny. When I saw that, honestly, bruv, like the whole situation with this. Are we like? I know the title is "Are we moving forward?" and that, but let's be real, bruv. We are stagnant, bruv. There's no will he's controlling. I see man, rinsing him, saying he's driving and he's controlling a Nissan Micro and whatnot, bruv. The only thing, yeah, Chelsea. I think it was Prime, innit? It was Prime.
Yeah, troll.
Bro, big troll. This guy, bruv. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, Chelsea. I think Chelsea, from Chelsea's perspective, I think they'll be quite annoyed with themselves because they're looking at that and they're thinking, bruv, we could have at least, if we had just tried to attack them, then we could have actually won this game, bruv. If Chelsea's forward attacked our defense, we are in a load of trouble. Yeah, everyone knows that. G.
But Beaks, what you've just said there, that last sentence is what I was going to come on when you were talking about Lampard's happy, etc. For me personally, right. I think Ollie got it completely wrong in the first half, and I'm not going to sit here and defend him. I think it was an absolute shambles. But in saying that,
Mm.
I don't see how Lampard can go. I'd obviously, I'd love to hear what you. I'm gonna obviously pass on to you, Prime. But as a Chelsea fan, surely you would have looked at Ollie's changes, 55th minute, and thought, okay, fair play to Ollie. Okay, granted he's got it wrong, but at least he's trying something to get us back in. Well, say get us back in the game, but trying to take the lead. Lampard didn't do anything. You've got 200 million quality players, by the way, not even poor players. Pulisic, huge fan of Pulisic. Werner's an absolute baller, and Havertz. Mate, I can see and praise Havertz all day long. He's an absolute sensation. But you literally had one shot on target. So
I hear, Osman, quick, just sorry to cut you off quick here.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I totally agree. And obviously, when you buy them type of players and you spend that amount, you're expected to score goals and attack and do whatnot. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, one thing that I think it was Ferguson that used to say back in the day: if I can go to an opposition ground who's a rival, and I know they're going to be challenging for maybe the league or top four or whatnot, yeah. If I can take a point from that
but
rival, that's it, bro.
It's a good point for us as well, though.
But
In that sense,
you can say so. You can
on the scheme of if you look at the game, and I should judge the game, it's 2 points dropped. But if you're basing it on what you've just said there, what Saeed said, in terms of the grand scheme of things, you know, Daniel's put a comment here. Obviously, we all know who Daniel is as well. Again, on the match preview, the homie, he said, "All I'm saying is for both teams, don't overreact. 4 points up top. If you keep clean sheets now, it'll be easier later. Can be a good platform for whatever team wants it." For me personally, right, I hear what you're saying, but the way I look at it in terms of the bigger picture, if we win our game in hand, right, we're literally 3 points off first, or like 3 points of Liverpool. So, okay, granted, in this moment right now, a lot of United fans are going to be pissed off because we probably should have done more. But a point to Chelsea, is it really a disaster? Like, Prime, what are your thoughts on that? Is it really the end of the world? We're acting like we lost to like bloody Burnley the way our fans are going on. Well, we did lose to Burnley, didn't we, early in the Brazil?
Exactly, bro.
From a Chelsea point of view, all right, you guys all know that I wasn't confident all week going into the game, saying we'd lose. I saw the lineups come out. I was feeling confident, not going to lie. I thought it would be 2-1 to Chelsea. Chelsea actually, I don't have a problem with how we set up. We set up to nullify you guys, and any team that comes onto United, we know that you can beat them on the counter attack, and Chelsea's defense is not the best. So it made sense for us to sit back and let you guys come on to us. But it seemed like Ollie had the same game plan as well. You guys did have your chances, not going to lie, but Mendy had a good performance. Thiago Silva had a good performance as well.
Thiago was fantastic for me.
It's only unfortunate that our defense was just poor going forward. Or our attack, was poor going forward. Werner was nowhere to be seen. Havertz had a poor game. Pulisic played well, to be honest, but it's hard support-wise when you have nothing else moving around you. I think the wing backs, Reece James had a good game. Chilwell was okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, it's hard when there's no movement from the forward players around you to build on. But yeah.
No, I regarding the movement, I completely understand. Like you already said, in terms of the lineup, you made you change the score. So because you said 4-2 initially, and when you saw the team sheets, you were more confident 2-1. And I was kind of on that course as well. I thought Chelsea were definitely going to do more. For me personally, as a Man United fan, and again, I'm sure Beeks and Bobs will agree with this. When I seen Chelsea's lineup against our defense, I was genuinely feeling the worst. I was thinking, oh shit, here we go. Like I was expecting you guys, and don't get me wrong, you started the better team, and for most of the first half, you were probably the better team, but you didn't really create anything. Like De Boy, like, were you a bit disappointed? I know, obviously, as Prime said, a point away from home is probably what Lampard wanted, but were you not a bit disappointed that you didn't go for the throw in the first half, given Ollie fully got it wrong, really?
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. I mean, I think the way we started, I thought we started quite well, but again, we didn't create any clear-cut chances, really. I think our only shot on target was from a free kick, so it says a lot. And I thought, I mean, credit to United, I think you defended well. I thought Lindelof had a really good game, and Wan-Bissaka defensively was really strong. So I think anytime we did try and create, it was, cut off pretty easily. But I mean, the most disappointing thing from how I saw it was, I think, Lampard, I wasn't disappointed with the lineup. I think Chelsea fans were confident after seeing it, but his in-game management again, I think, has let him down. And there's some decisions he's made which I don't agree with completely. I think he's frozen out Giroud without any reason. I mean, we saw
Does
what
that
Giroud
surprise
did.
you? He didn't get because like for me personally, I'm a massive fan of Giroud, as Beaks knows. Like he didn't get substituted on. Like you subbed Abraham on, who's not. I'm not gonna say similar to Werner because of course he's not even close to him. But in terms of the style of play, he kind of likes to do a similar thing. Like Giroud would have given you a different dynamic. Does that not surprise you? Didn't get any minutes.
I was very, very
Massively.
surprised. And like,
Yeah, because
go on.
sorry, continue. No, you continue. It's fine.
I was gonna say, like, Giroud, I think especially because he caused problems last time we played in the FA Cup for you guys. So I was very surprised he didn't start. I mean, not surprised he didn't start because he's been frozen out for a while now. But I think when something has to change, bring Abraham on. I think he's not extremely similar to Werner, but they're got similar qualities. And when you've got Giroud and Reece James putting in the crosses, you got to have someone like Giroud in there. So I think that was one thing, and another one was Kovacic because Kante, I don't think he had the best of games again, and we lack that ball progressor from midfield when he plays. So I was quite surprised Kovacic didn't play either.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, especially with Jorginho in particular. Don't get me wrong, I think he's had a brilliant start to the season. Like penalty aside, I think he's done well. But for me personally, the issue was for your team when I seen the lineup straight away was who's going to get the ball and play it through the lines. Kovacic, for me, right, last season, I don't know who got awarded your player of the season, but for me, he was your player of the season by a mile. Like, I just think he's fantastic. He was absolutely brilliant for large parts, of the season. And even when you played against us and you beat us in the cup, Kovacic was my man of the match in that game. I think he was absolutely sensational in breaking up play and obviously recycling the ball quicker to your front line. And Jorginho loves a sideward pass. Like, he just won't pass it forward unless, like, someone's got a gun to his head. Like, he just doesn't do it for some reason. It's similar to McTominay. They just love passing sideways for whatever reason. But, Bob, just before we come back to the Chelsea, obviously the Chelsea guys prime, but were you a bit surprised, Bob, in terms of how much we nullified their attack? Because obviously, we can talk about the negatives in our attack, but something that's not been a positive for us this season, obviously trying to look from both sides of the story, we've not been good. We've not been good defensively at all. And were you a bit surprised when you see the Chelsea lineup? There must have been a part of you thinking, "Oh shit, we're going to be in for a long day here."
To be honest, when he plays McSauce and Pastor Fred, right, we already know we're going to defend. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that I expected when I saw the team lineup, I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to try and be compact in defense. So I expected that. What annoys me, and it probably annoys Chelsea, is that if you're going to play like that, we need to have someone beside Fred or beside McTominay who can create. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Then you balance it up. And I was just, I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed, man. But to be honest, Chelsea's style of play, you can have all these players, but if you ask them, I think they'd love to play with a target man. And if you ask them if they had someone that just stayed up front that they can link up with, I'd have been more scared if I saw Giroud than Werner, if I'm honest.
All right. I hear your point, obviously, because, with Giroud in particular, especially with Havertz, I can imagine link up with Havertz would be fantastic because obviously he'll pop it off to him, receive it back, that kind of thing. But for me personally, I was worried about Werner the most. I thought he was going to kill us. Like, especially with Maguire and Lindelof at the back, I was expecting Werner to absolutely destroy us. Just before we get you in, Saeed, Beaks, what were your thoughts like in terms of our defense? The position we've criticised so much, and rightfully so, this season so far. Were you surprised in how well we kind of defended against the Chelsea threat?
No, I won't lie. I was a bit shocked in it. Like, usually, like I said, I've come on here, I've criticised Lindelof dozens of times, man. I've always said Lindelof makes my skin crawl and whatnot. But I'm a person as well. At the same time, if someone is actually doing well, if someone's performing well, I'll praise them, innit? Do you get me? So Lindelof had a really good game, innit? I'll put my hands up, which was quite rare. And it's the fact that it was with Maguire as well, I thought, all right, cool, like they actually did well together. But I'm still on edge. Like, I still feel like, my heart might drop when I see them both start. I feel like, there's a mistake in them. And I still feel like 3 at the back is better than having 2 at the back because them 2 are a liability at times. And it was proven in that Chelsea game, like I said, with that challenge that Maguire had on Aspilicueta. But then again, it was a clean sheet. So at the same time, I still got to give credit where credit is due. So fair play to them, and fair play to them, to everyone in defence. It's just going forward in the future. I just feel like this two at the back with Maguire and Lindelof is still a heart attack for me waiting to happen, and I'm not ready to die yet, man. I still want to live a good life. Do you get me? So it is what it is, isn't it?
Oh God, man's still young, Man's still
Come
young,
on, G.
Don't be killing us just yet.
Bro.
But listen, Saeed, let's bring you in. Obviously, as always, very vocal in your opinions. Of course, I watched your match reaction as well. What were your thoughts in terms of the way Oli approached the game? We've kind of said that it was very negative in the first half. Obviously, the credit to the defense, but attacking we offered. Minus that Rashford 101, I can't really think of anything we offered going forward.
Yeah, man. It's a bit negative, mate. Ball fest, absolute ball fest, man. And I just feel like it's one of them for me, man. It's like, what was the aim for us yesterday? That's my only problem, man. Like, you can talk about draws, you can talk about good draws here and there, but I believe the Mourinho of old, man. You know what I mean? Mourinho of old, I would have been like, yeah, draw. But we're talking about Lampard, man. Lampard's a novice manager. You know what I mean? It's for me. We should have. Chelsea were there for the taking yesterday. They were really there for the taking yesterday, and I'm just surprised how Oli didn't seize upon that. You know what I mean? I don't know whenever you're gonna be 3 points guaranteed right there in front of you. You know what I mean? Go up the table. Let's be positive. You know what I mean? You know me. I'm not the biggest Oli fan, but if they've got 3 points out there, I'm not complaining, am I? You know what I mean? So yesterday, man, for me, it's a bit of an underwhelming one, man. And I'm just looking at the club and I'm thinking, right, where do we go from here then? Where's the ambitions of Oli? Where does he think we're trying to achieve? Are we getting top 4 title? Where do we want to go? You know what I mean? He's happy smiling at the result, man. Who smiles at the draw, man? You know what I mean? For me, that's a joke, man. For me,
this is what I was
it's
saying
getting
earlier.
underplayed. And then he's on about Stretford. Listen, mate. Stretford, he's taking the piss out of us, man. For me, he's taking the piss out of us now. I think he's at his state now, yeah. And for me, he's got to go, man. He's got to go, man. He's at his state at this football club, yeah. And he's saying all about finals. He's getting too comfortable for me, man. About finals, he's not in the stadium. Are you having a laugh, man? What kind of a nonsense is that, man? If David Moyes said about we need to aspire to be City, that's another comment, man. That's another comment like that, mate, about aspire to be City. That's another one where we talk about fans in the stadium. The pressure's on, mate. Listen, mate, we've had no fans since June, mate. Have you not noticed that? Or you're just stupid as a manager, mate? I don't know, man. For me, it's shocking, man. And I'm still hurt by it, man. Because I'm thinking for me, yeah. Yes, Chelsea, you get a result. Draws, all right result against Chelsea, but Chelsea were there for the take. Chelsea were so negative. It was unbelievable. And I'm thinking, then again, why did we not seize upon that opportunity? Why did we not play Pogba, start off with Van der Beek? You know what I mean? For me, I'm a bit like one of them where Arsenal's going to be even more defensive game. So what's Oli going to choose then? What's Oli going to pick then? Arsenal are going to come even more defensive. Then you got Everton away, who are at the minute are kind of like fumbling, but still it's a tough fixture. So I don't know, man. I'm a bit like what's going on, man? Because now the worst kind of a season to start is 1972. I'm not too sure where this football club want to go, man. I don't know where Oli wants to go. Not once has he come to this football club and said, where do I want to finish the season? Where do I want to come? Like, is it 4th, 3rd, 2nd? I'm telling you now, man. I kept telling you, man, all day. Yeah, you might be Oli in, yeah, but all I'm saying to you is, yeah, don't lower your expectation of football club, man. Don't become a mediocrity football club, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Don't become a mediocrity. Don't accept failure, man. I'm a United fan, yeah, but I'm not accepting failure, man. I'm not accepting that the season is already like we're just about coasting around the season. I'm not accepting that, man. I'm expecting us to go above Everton, mate. Everton, yeah, are ahead of us, yeah, by a couple of points. Are you telling me we're not matching the ambitions of them? I don't know, man. I don't know what this comes, man. I don't know, man. You guys tell me. I don't know what the ambition. Where does everyone see Man United finishing? I don't know.
4th.
Now, just regarding what you said first and foremost, regarding Ali's approach, I completely agree in that sense. I do agree that he just got it wrong. Like the first time, he got it completely wrong. I just don't understand why he went so negative. However, what I will say is, I think in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this is that bad of a result. I think because we've had such a shit start to the season, I think it's been highlighted a lot more. In terms of Chelsea, I thought Chelsea defended really well. Like we had to be a bit more aggressive in the final third. I do agree, but I just think you've got to sometimes give credit to opposition. They came and part of the buzz. They came for the draw.
Osman, I'm not taking that, man. we should not be giving credit to Chelsea. When Chelsea came there, they had no
Yeah,
answers.
bond
You know what I mean? They
Chelsea,
came there.
like bond them.
No, I'm not giving credit
no,
because of what they're offering. I'm saying in terms of defensively, they made it hard for us to break them down. Now, in the second half, Pogba played about 40 minutes, basically. Cavani played about 35, 40 minutes. And
we made Thiago Silva. We made Thiago Silva look like he's in his prime, mate. We made Thiago Silva look like he's in his prime. The guy's 36, mate. He's 36. And we made him look
Can I
like
ask you
his
a
prime.
question?
Yeah,
Can I ask you a question, Usmaan? Yeah, that first half, yeah, you're the manager, right? You see the first 45 minutes, right? You see that Daniel James is the outlet, okay? You as a manager, you see that at halftime, you know, okay, let's mix it up. We know they're there for the taking. You're basically leaving Bruno, Mata, and Rashford to create. Like, you know, and we had Daniel James as an outlet. Like, surely the competence in you would say, okay, I need to change this. I need to be more potent.
Yeah, listen, I'm just playing devil's advocate because I actually agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. But I mean, someone's got to do it. But what I will say to that is, this is me being obviously my own personal thought. He did change it after 10 minutes. Like, he probably said, "Look, let's give it another 5-10 minutes," which is the most standard.
Which he doesn't usually do, by the way. He doesn't usually.
Yeah, exactly.
Do that,
so you've got to look at the end of the day. He subbed on Pogba, he subbed on Cavani, and he subbed on Greenwood last 10 minutes. And granted, that Greenwood substitution was a bit late for me personally, but the other subs are fine for me. I just think sometimes you know, football's fine margins. Rashford scores at 1-1. And no one's talking about this. There's obviously that Mendy save of Rashford again in the second half. I don't know how he saved it. I don't know how he saw the ball through three bodies. Fantastic save by Mendy. You know, there was obviously Cavani's first touch. He almost scored a yard of the way. It's gone in because Mendy's not expecting it. Football's fine margins. I'm not saying that this is a good result. I'm not saying Oli did the right thing in the manner in which we started, but you've got to, sometimes they're going to go in, sometimes they're not. And for me personally, he got it wrong yesterday. He got it wrong, and I just hope he learns from it. But Prime, let's bring you in and obviously bring De Boy in as well, because obviously Saeed said, Chelsea were there for the taking, and obviously he was quite, he was bashing the way your manager approached the game. What are your thoughts on those comments? Do you agree with that, or what are your thoughts?
I do not think Chelsea were there for the taking. I think both managers clearly didn't want to lose the game. With Chelsea, if we had gone out from the set and put the pressure on and dictated the tempo of the game, I think we would have lost. I think if United would have came out and dictated the tempo, they also would have lost. At this point of the season, only 6 games in, only 5 games in for United, you haven't lost or won anything yet in terms of ground on anybody. I mean, Villa are what, second in the league? Does that mean Villa are going to get finished in the top 4? No. So I think this overreaction from both sets of fans is, in my opinion, quite ridiculous. There's nothing to be complaining about. United would still make it into the top 4 anyway, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, this is kind of where I'm coming from. If you're looking at if you just isolate this one game, then I completely agree with what everyone's saying about the performance from Chelsea wasn't good enough. You need to show more ambition, especially with the quality you got on the pitch. And same for Man United. That I'd agree. I completely agree with them comments. I'm not denying that for 1 second. Man United should be doing more going forward, as should have Chelsea. If you're isolating just this one result, but if you look at the grand scheme of things, like you said, we're literally 3 points off Liverpool if we win that game against Arsenal. And you got to remember, other teams are going to play Chelsea as well. Not everyone's going to beat Chelsea. It's not like it's an easy game. But before obviously get your guys' thoughts on that, De Boy, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Chelsea bottled it to an extent? Do you think Lampard bottled it in his approach, or do you disagree with that?
Well, I'm actually going to give you a different take on it. I actually thought that, if you put it into perspective, this is a Chelsea team that shipped 3 goals to West Brom. We shipped 3 goals to Southampton.
Yeah.
We're not a side that, for 18 months now, we're a side who are defensively very fragile. And, this week we've put in 2 performances. We've had a clean sheet against Sevilla, who, they've lost 2 games since February, involving some big teams. And then a United side who, in this reverse fixture, you beat us 4-0. And I think if Lampard had approached it in the way that, be more attacking, put an attacking lineup out, that sets perfectly into your game plan where you counter us and, score passes. I think Mendy saved us yesterday, the 4 he made. But I think I think we showed progress in the sense that, defensively Chelsea, we've been poor, and we're making progress in that sense. The attacking threat that we should have, I think, will come with time when players gel and play together. But I think there's a bit of an overreaction, especially from Chelsea fans, of that performance, because 2 clean sheets against Sevilla and Manchester United, I'll take that. I think the attacking threat will come with time, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very, I think that's a very good way to look at it in terms of, from your perspective, definitely. As you already mentioned, Chelsea's defense has been absolutely woeful this season. Against West Brom, you can obviously you 3-0 down against West Brom as well. You can see that late goal against Southampton. So you guys have been just as bad as us defensively. So I can imagine the managers, Ollie's probably a bit more disappointed because we're at home. But I guarantee the managers thinking, okay, we've had a good defensive performance here, and it's something to build on. Bees, can you see it? Can you see this as a stepping stone? Obviously, we've got RB Leipzig in the week, and then obviously we've got Arsenal next. 7 points in 3 games. The 3 games prior, we've been absolutely terrible. Obviously, the Crystal Palace game, etc. Obviously, the Spurs game, I'm not even mention that one. But can you see this as a stepping stone? Is there any positives for United moving forward from this game, or are you still so adamant that it was such a poor performance?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, I'm still adamant. Like, that performance was just like, I'm not happy with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And a lot of people are saying we're overreacting and whatnot, but it's not even about overreacting. It's about what's happened in the past, bro. This is a brand new season and whatnot. And fair play, like, I understand that no one's had any preseason like we usually do in other previous seasons due to COVID and whatnot. Yeah. But you have to understand, the reason why I'm annoyed is that this isn't an overreaction. This is what we've been seeing over the last few weeks, and we're not really going anywhere, man. This is a stagnant position that we're in. I mean, it's 2 steps. It's 1 step forwards, 2 steps back, and I don't like that. I don't understand why it's like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know, like I said, like prior to PSG and Newcastle, we got slapped up by Spurs at home. We ain't won at home in the last 5 games. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this isn't a real overreaction. A lot of people are saying that, we're looking at it too deep and whatnot. But I'm not, bro. I'm not, because you already know how I am, Usmaan, innit? And that before all this, I wanted to give Ollie some kind of like leeway and say, do you know what? Let me like actually wait for this, innit? But I'm done waiting. Geez, you understand? We got RB Leipzig now. And it's a matter of fact that, cool. We don't even.
I hear what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, obviously I'm trying to play devil's advocate, but
go ahead.
You've got to put into context now. We literally just beat PSG 3-4 days ago.
I hear that,
and
they were shit.
What? They were. To be fair, they were shit.
No, you can't say that. No, you can't say that, bro.
They were shit because of us, though. We made it. We stopped them from.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm just trying to look at it from a different perspective as well, because I know audience are going to be like, balancing the conversation.
Go on.
From a positive standpoint, I hear what you're saying in terms of the grand scheme of things. Like I've already said, in terms of our last 5 games, we've been shocking at home, and I'm not denying that. In fact, the start of the season has been dog shit. But the way I'm looking at it now, after the Spurs, and I said after the Spurs game, I don't think Ollie can turn it around. This is Ollie trying to turn it around. Look, at the end of the day, we beat PSG, we drew to Chelsea. For me, this is just me personally. I love to what you guys say. If someone offered us those 2 results, right, I probably would have taken it. If you go to RB Leipzig and get a result in terms of win them, obviously get something against Arsenal, I don't personally think that's a disaster. You've got to remember, we're going to play easier games. We're in a very hard period here. And you can't expect us to go PSG, beat them, beat Chelsea, because this is the way it sounds like from my United fans. Beat RB Leipzig, beat Arsenal, beat Everton. If you don't do all of that,
why not? Because
that's not football works.
If that's because why were all United fans?
There's only one ever invincible team. We're not going to do invincible.
No, I get that. But convince me that we're trying to win these games. We talk about. Ollie always talks about the DNA of Man United and stuff. Well, there's no really DNA of Man United. We had Fergie, and Fergie used to play attacking football. We used to attack. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I'm not saying I'm not deluded. I'm not saying we're going to win every game. I get what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is that convince me that you're trying to win this game.
So do you not think in the second half, him subbing Pogba on and Cavani and Greenwood, when he could have took off, I don't know, he could have brought a DM on, for example. Matic was on the bench as well, by the way. Matic hasn't seen the light of day for God knows how long. He's still in his cave. But he could have subbed Matic on to shore things up, to sub, the last 10 minutes. He subbed Greenwood on. Does that not demonstrate to you that, okay, granted, he got it wrong in the first half, but in the second half, he did try to rectify. Do you not see that, Pops?
But it makes me think that the team that he picked, he thought, I need to fix this because I picked the wrong team.
No, but I think, but you're going to make mistakes as a manager.
No, I get that. But for me, be brave. Do you know what I mean? Like, commit more people forward.
You say that. Sorry, can I just say, you say that, but like, being attack doesn't win you a game. Being tactically smart in big games like this against the top six and against like PSG is what wins you the game. You can't just say, let's attack, and then Chelsea hit you on the counter.
That's absolute facts. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Fergie did that a lot when he was there.
Fergie would attack, Fergie would attack all the time. Not all the time, but when it came to the big games, he was very tactical. For instance, I'll give you an example. If he went Anfield, there was never a time you go there and attack. That's stupid. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He played two DMs all the time. Fletch, how many games have Fletch played?
Of course. I know, but in-game management for that game, okay, tells me that we could have went and attacked and probably got a goal. Or, been more...
Are you about the Chelsea game?
Pardon?
You know about the Chelsea game?
Yeah, the Chelsea game.
I generally think this is the only game he's done his in-game management right. Like, I'm not even gassing. Like, this is the only game I can let him off. There's been about 10 games prior that I'd be like, well, the PSG game had a good one, but like, I think personally, this is one of the few games that he actually got it right. Like, in terms of in-game management, like, for me personally, I thought he got it right. The boy, let's just come from the Chelsea perspective. Regarding Lampard and his in-game management, do you feel like he was too passive? Is something that he doesn't get criticised that much, but his changes were very late. It seemed like he kind of ran out of ideas. He didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, he did it last time we played Sevilla. He brings on Tammy Abraham and Hudson-Odoi after 90 minutes. I mean, what's the point in doing that? And then yesterday, I mean, I think the wrong changes. He's bringing on Mason Mount as a...
Boy, I think you're cutting out slightly. I don't know if you can hear us or not.
I'll continue. Bringing Mason Mount on in part of one of the front three attacking positions, bringing on Tammy way too late. Then he brings on Ziyech in like the 80-something minute when the game's basically gone. It's like his tactical decisions in order to change things up aren't the best. I mean, he set up correctly, which is fair credit to him, but when things are going wrong or you need to change something, he didn't do that. And as a young manager, I get it. Not everything's going to be perfect, but those are the things that he needs to learn and learn quickly, because you're not at Derby, you're at Chelsea, you're at one of the biggest clubs on the planet now. You can't be making these mistakes and they don't get noticed.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think for me personally, both managers are very... I don't want to use a very inexperienced, because obviously Ollie's been around for a long time, but the manner in which they approach situations, they come across like they're inexperienced. Well, I suppose Lampard is inexperienced, but in Ollie's perspective, he comes across very inexperienced in some of the decisions he makes. I do agree with that sense. But coming back to Lampard, I thought, for me personally, like, he could have just changed the system. He had to change something, because it was quite evident that, they weren't getting much joy going forward. You didn't have enough people close enough to Pulisic, and obviously Havertz in particular to support your attack. But just Kovacic, I just don't understand why Kovacic can't get a game. Like, is that obviously hopefully the boy yours connection's working out? What are your thoughts on Kovacic? Because for me personally, he's the perfect player for you in that formation. He breaks the lines with his passing. He's tenacious. He's very good at winning the ball back as well.
Yeah, I think Kovacic was needed yesterday. I mean, Kante, I thought he didn't have the best of games. Yeah, he provided. I think one thing with Kante is like recently he hasn't looked himself, and I think yesterday we needed someone, a press-resistant player. Kovacic is that he can progress the ball really well, and he can link up the midfield to the attack, and I think that's something we needed. I know I cut off. I think just before I was going to say, I think Mason Mount. Why is he playing on the wing? I think that's something Lampard needs to address. when he's left her to the...
Where's Hudson-Odoi? Sorry to interrupt. Is he injured? I wasn't aware.
No, I don't know what it is between Lampard and
free CHO, man. Free him, bro.
He scores that goal against
West Brom.
On the Cup at West Brom, yeah, I thought when they played the 1-2 with Havers, scores that goal and then literally doesn't get like a moment. Like he doesn't even get another moment on the pitch.
Exactly. I think it's strange. It's a strange one when Mason Mount's coming on in the wing, and then like Abraham wasn't what we needed, and then Kovacic, who was our player of the year last season, and he's been frozen out. I think he has had a child like 2 weeks ago, but I mean, since then we've played 2 games and he's been on the bench for 2 of them. So it's clearly something tactical. But I mean, when you're looking at the performances of Kante and you see Mason Mount come on the wing and Giroud being frozen out, and especially with Giroud, it's something that really annoys me because this is the guy who's got 8 goals in his last 10 Premier League starts. And he starts for France, scores regularly. He's only like 8-9 goals behind Henry as France's leading goal scorer, and he's finding himself 3rd choice behind Abraham, who, yes, he scored 18 goals for us last season, top scorer, but he's offered nothing when he's coming on. So I don't really know what's going on with Lampard's in-game tactics, but he's leaving out players who shouldn't be left out.
Yeah, well, I suppose the United fans could definitely relate to that with Van der Beek. I'm sure we'll touch on that shortly because that has been a free Van der Beek and free Hudson-Odoi has been trending for like
free Tomori as well, bro.
And Tomori, by the way.
As well.
Tomori. I had him
Honestly,
in
bro.
last year.
Shackled up
that banger as well last season. Mate, he's a proper baller. I just don't
January 1st, he's gone, bro. CHO, I don't even know how you guys, not you guys, folks, Lampard, honestly, bro. I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, everyone has their favourites. Obviously, Mount is definitely a favourite, and McTominay looks like a favourite for us. But listen, I just want to say, if you're tuning in at the moment, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe to the channel. What I want from everyone in the comment section is that there's a lot of people writing comments down, and obviously I'm trying my best to read them out, etc. I'm not doing a great job, I do admit. But if you've got any questions, put the questions down, and obviously I'll put the questions to the guys because obviously there's a lot of people writing paragraphs. I am reading them, so don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. But yeah, Beaks, we're coming to you. Obviously, we spoke about in-game management, etc. But in terms of we'll allow them to speak about Ali. We'll speak about Lampard. We'll say from Lampard, in terms of him as a manager, do you think he's the person to continue to take Chelsea forward? Because they've backed him probably the most I've ever seen a manager ever been backed. They literally went above and beyond. The fact that they've got him a goalkeeper on top of a 72 million goalkeeper that they've got is just ridiculous. But fair play, Mendy was sensational, so it seemed like a fantastic signing. But because what are your thoughts on Lampard and not just this game but in general? Like, do you think Chelsea will still have a good season? Do you think this is just a blip for them, or what do you reckon?
Look, I spoke about this with Prime earlier on. I just feel like they backed Lampard because obviously they believe in what his project is, isn't it? Do you understand? You don't give a manager 200+ million if you don't believe in him. Do you get me? So man said he's a bipolar manager. You don't give him money if you're not going to back him. But they backed him. But I just believe that if he doesn't get that top 4 spot again, or even with a trophy, he's gone. Like I've always said, I said Oli will outlast Lampard. That's only because our board are just stubborn. They're not going to do anything. They're just happy to have him there. He's a yes man. But with Abramovich, I've always said this guy doesn't have a heart, but he's found a heart. I think honestly, I think what it is with him is that he wants to change this whole thing of chopping and changing and just give a chance to a young manager who he believes will take them back to the top. And I believe that's what he's trying to do. However, I don't think he's going to have the patience to carry on with that. If he doesn't hit the targets that he's expected to. Now, I don't necessarily think that his target is to win the league. I don't think that's what he's been given by the uprightees and whatnot. I believe that his thing is to make sure you win a trophy and get top 4. if you don't do that, just to echo what Prime said earlier on, because I can remember, it depends. If you get top 4 and you finish maybe leveled on points, then cool, he's calm. But if you finish top 4 and you're like 10 points behind third and like 15 and 20 points behind first, then there's red flags are going to be raised, question marks are going to be put out there, and I just believe that his time will be up. So this season is crunch time for Lampard, man, and I just feel like games like this, like obviously you're building from the back. You want to make sure that there's a foundation that has to be laid, cool. But earlier on this season, you're drawing 3-3 to Southampton, you're drawing 3-3 to West Brom. Your game management is a bit not the best, and bruv, like I just feel like all eyes are on him at the moment, and he needs to watch out and he needs to fix up. And I just feel like maybe it's a little bit early this season because now he's got the players in that, all right, cool. Let's see what happens after 10 games or 15 games, and cool. Then we can start judging him. The reason why I'm saying that for him and not Ollie is because Ollie, cool. Yeah, because I don't know, you're ready to spin, BG. I'm ready.
I was just about
Marlin, all right. Yeah, don't do that with me, G. You know me, G. The difference is, I can't get me like that, bro. The difference is that Ollie now didn't get back in that manner this season now. And like last season, he got top 4 and whatnot. Cool. But that was just by the skin of our teeth. Ollie isn't. Gee, how can I describe this, man? I've described him bipolar. I've described him. I don't even want to give him a fault. This guy is experienced, bro. He has managed elsewhere. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a huge difference. Lampard managed at Derby and in that Chelsea. Bro, a lot of people think that Ollie is just managed just now. Like, this is his first job. No, bro. No, he's won league titles.
How have you gotten early asking about Lampard? I just realised I was listening to you because I'm used to you slaying Ollie. I was like, okay, let him have his say. But I just realised I asked you about Lampard. We'll have you say, let's deal with Lampard first. We'll come back to Ollie in a second.
But no, but just to wrap it up, I just feel like Lampard. See how
I think it's just to wrap you up, Ollie. Or some shit like that.
That's how much this guy annoys me, though. That's how you know. The fact that I have to go back to Ollie, which makes me sick. But all jokes aside, though, no, I just feel like he's got he's got this season to prove himself, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
No, we got a few questions here for you, Prime, bro. But obviously before I ask you them, Dubai, just to get your quick thoughts on obviously what Beats said regarding Lampard. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
Yeah, I agree with most of what he said. I mean, I think Lampard, Abramovich, is so used to instant success. Chelsea fans are so used to instant success. Get to a point where you bring in managers in, and even if they do well, they have a risk of losing their job. I think it's completely different this time round. He's obviously you don't back someone that extensively in the market just to get rid of them after one season. I think one thing, that's not to say expectations are off. I think there's definitely high expectations. We have to show improvement, progression from last season. So of course, I think a trophy, a domestic trophy at least, and progression in the UCL is necessary, in order for him to keep his job.
Do you think he can do that, Dubai? Do you think he's capable of achieving that?
I personally think he can, and I think it all depends on if he learns from his mistakes quickly enough. Because at the moment, his in-game management needs to improve, and if that does improve, then there's every chance he'll win a trophy. So it all depends on him. But I just think that this season, I don't think, especially from the hierarchy, that they're expecting him to win the title, to go all out. I think this is sort of a 3-year project, which has been mentioned in the media. The first one was integrating the youth. Second season, the new signings, getting them to gel. I think next season, that's when the expectations are going to be Premier League title. And if he doesn't achieve that, then he can see himself gone. But I think this season is more of a transitional, again, just to integrate signings. So I think what Beak said is spot on.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think, at the end of the day, he's definitely going to get time because there's no way he's going to sack him when he's practically bought everyone that you would probably want him to sign. It's just interesting for me. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I personally think he'll be sacked at the end of the season because he's going to have a mare. And I'm not saying Ollie's not going to be sacked before everyone comes to my head. They'll probably both be sacked. Like, I'm not going to lie, the way it's going at the moment. because it's a result business. Because if Chelsea don't get top four, I actually think Chelsea end up with Pochettino come the end of the season or Allegri. Like I genuinely think one of them. I think they'll both be in the Premier League. Like Man United and Chelsea will have one or the other. Like for me, that's how I personally see it. Like Bob's, what's your thoughts on that? Not just for Lampard, but obviously for both.
I think Lampard's probably one of the most fortunate Chelsea managers that he got all these signings. So what's your excuse now? Going forward, I agree with what you said. I think that come by the end of the season, I think he's gone 100% because I don't see either manager, Frank or Ollie, winning anything, to be honest. However, I do think Ollie will outlast him because
not the way our fans are reacting after this draw. If he beats RB Leipzig on the week and draws to Arsenal and beats Everton, our fans will want him out because he's not winning the game.
I get that, but I think I just have a feeling that Deadwood wants a different change now. He wants to keep Ollie because of what he's done in the dressing room and blah blah blah. But for me, on Lampard, I think the jury's out on Lampard this season. You need to do something. You've got your players. You lost in semi-final, a final. You didn't win anything. So I think this season he's got to be in top four or competing for in touch of the league by Christmas. And I think if he isn't, there's going to be a problem. Massively. And with Ollie, I mean, Beats, I agree with you, man. I don't know for this guy. Real talk, man. I really don't know for this guy because, we can say bipolar, we can say fraud. Man's on a journey, boy, and I don't think he even knows where he is, never mind sitting in Old Trafford. I just think that unless we get the football we want, okay, or the results we need, he's always going to have a problem. And I think Ollie's going to be a problem. And I've seen the comments, people are bashing him and stuff. I'm not here to bash him. I mean, when he wins, I'll give him credit. When he loses, I'll bash him then. But for me, I just think that...
What happens if he draws then? What happens if he draws? No,
I'm passing him, bro.
Right, okay. In the middle, okay, fair.
But my point is that for both of them, man, if you were to say to me who's the best manager, I'd say it's a tie. They both lose. So personally, I think they're both gone at the end of the season. Personally, at what time I can't confirm, but yeah, next season I don't think neither of them are here. Personally.
All right, let's bring Prime in. Prime, we've got a few questions for yourself and obviously the boy as well. I'll let you answer this one first because a lot has been said about your manager, so I'll give you the opportunity to defend him. What are your thoughts? I've said it. Bob's has said it as well. We think both are going to be sacked come the end of the season, the way things are going. But as we know, football changes very quickly. Might not be RB Leipzig and Arsenal. Then everyone who's already out, or some of the Ollie out fans are going to be like, oh, maybe he's turning a coin and so forth. But what are your thoughts on both managers? Do you think they'll be gone, or do you think that's very harsh?
I don't think either of them will be sacked this season.
All right, fair enough.
That maybe a bold statement, but I don't think either of them will be sacked this season. Look, we know what Roman's like. We know how trigger happy he is if things look like they're not going well, but he's also not a dickhead. He's not going to spend over 200 mil on players for an inexperienced manager. He's also not going to bring in an inexperienced manager without some sort of a plan and project for the future ahead. I think he's going to let him complete it and see it out. At the very least until the end of the season. And with Ollie anyway, if you bring in another manager, I don't see how things get any better.
I think a lot of United fans, obviously, I'm not speaking on behalf of the masses here, but I can imagine what Beaks and Bobs and a lot of the other, Benji, for example, will say the football will improve. We'll have more, we'll have improved system. There is. I personally don't think if we bring Poch in that he's gonna win us the league. I genuinely think that Poch
is that a stigma of him not winning trophies?
No, because I personally think, right, I don't go too off topic, but I think Poch is an absolute bottle job because for me personally, the fact that he played Kane in that final is the biggest disgrace I've ever seen in my life. And it doesn't get spoken about enough. Lucas Moura just bagged a hat-trick, last kick of game to get you to a final. Kane's not even 50% fit. anyone who watches football and who watches Spurs regularly, week in, week out, I personally don't. I watch them enough. My boy that's a Spurs fan, and he watches them day in, day out, said one thing you need to know about Kane is if he's not fit, or if he's not fully much fit, he's shit. He's literally irrelevant. You've seen it in August. The guy's getting up to speed. He struggles to score. The guy's come back from a lengthy injury, right? And then he just bottles it and plays it because he was too scared.
Even forget that Champions League final, 3 seasons on the bounce, Poch has bottled the league when it resulted in Chelsea winning it, City winning it, and Leicester winning it.
Exactly. And
Beyond the bounce, he's bottled it.
And also, he was throwing all the cup competitions, the League Cup, the FA Cup. Like Spurs have got this huge history of winning trophies. Like he's got the luxury of not trying to go for them. Too much arrogance there. He didn't do anything in the European League either when they were in there. Like, don't get me wrong, he did a fantastic job there. But what I'm saying is one thing managing Spurs and is one thing managing Manchester United. You guys, we've just drawn to Chelsea, right? But just have a bit of perspective, yeah. We've drawn to Chelsea, and half the fan base is fucking okay. That's the final straw. And I'm not saying that Oli hasn't done shit in the obviously in the near past. Because it's a cumulative thing. But the fact that a draw to Chelsea is the final straw that broke the camel's back for Man United fans, Poch can't handle this shit. If Poch was getting draws left, right, centre at Spurs, like 2 draws on the bounce without a win for Man United, people are calling for your head.
And you know what's mad? Take it.
Yeah, go on, sorry, bro.
Well, it's probably 2 now. When you lost, was it 6-1 to Spurs?
Yeah.
If I was to say to United fans, you'll come back after the international break.
This is my point.
Beat PSG and get a draw from Chelsea. What would you say to me?
I would have taken that. 100%.
Exactly. And now you got that.
Exactly. This is what I mean. I think people, like, don't get me wrong. I said to you, Beaks, after the 6-1 result, I'm fucking done with this guy. He has to fully prove to me that he's making a change. Like, prove that we're going to improve. Newcastle game, he completely surprised me. PSG game, he surprised me. This game, he tried to be too smart. He got it wrong. He tried to rectify in the second half, but it was too late. So that's kind of where I'm at. So he's got 2 right, and he's got this one half and half. The second half was good. The first half was dog shit. So that beats that. What are your thoughts?
My thing is, obviously, I don't want to go off rail and whatnot. What you said about Poch, I completely understand and I totally agree. However, you have to understand at the same time, because I'm just going to spin it for you and I'll PDA. This is a man that didn't have enough backing, financial backing at Spurs, and got Spurs to a level that they've never really been before in their history.
Yeah,
let's be real.
True.
Okay,
that's true.
So in that sense, there was some discipline going on. There was a philosophy going on at Spurs, and they were getting the results. Unfortunately, they weren't winning trophies. So obviously, it's not going down the route of where Spurs think that they're gonna.
Yeah, but they bottled. No,
I totally understand, bro.
Finals and everyone's lost their
bro.
heads.
I totally understand, and I'm not saying he didn't bottle it. The same thing applies to Oli. Did he not bottle a semi-final last season? Did he not bottle?
He did.
Right, exactly. So if we're gonna put in that hindsight and whatnot, who's the better manager? Is Poch not? Cool. So if I'm gonna, why is
Poch the better manager?
Why is
bro?
For 5 years, bro. He's been here for a year and a half or 2 years.
Bro. Okay, so you guys are telling me, yeah, that you would rather just based on what you lot are saying, you would rather have Oli in than Poch.
What I'm saying, what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
No, but what I'm saying to you is that, on what evidence does Poch come in and do a better job?
He'll do. I think Poch is a better manager. Poch is
a better coach. Okay, cool, that's fine. But he still hasn't won anything. This
is the problem. This is the problem, right? Okay, because he hasn't won anything. But everyone wants good football. We want good results and whatnot, and we believe that if a better manager comes in, surely he'll be able to deliver, regardless of whether he's won anything or not. You're telling me that he wouldn't be capable enough of getting United a trophy, despite of what he did at Spurs. I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm just putting it in hindsight.
Right.
I'm dissecting everything you're saying.
I'm going to answer the question, then I'm going to come back to Chelsea because I don't want to go too off.
Yeah, I hear you.
Poch is a bridesmaid, man.
Yeah, no, basically regarding Poch, right? He's definitely better than Oli. There's no question about it. In terms of what he's done, he's done it for a longer period, although he's not won anything. But My thing with him is, right, I just don't. For me personally, I can't see him coming in and winning the league. If you're gonna sack Oli, I want someone that you can think this guy will win the league, and I personally don't think Poch would do that.
Okay,
that's just my personal opinion.
Quick. So if it's not Poch now, be real, because I've got managers in mind. If it's not Poch, who would you bring in?
Okay, cool. I think that answer, it depends on what you want to do. If you're talking about building, then
go on. Yeah.
Look, for example, with me,
if
you're talking about, say, Nagelsmann, who's probably one of the best managers around. I've studied him. I've been watching him for a few years now because I've loved Timo Werner and I've watched him play.
Fantastic coach. Nagelsmann hasn't won anything then.
But to bring in someone like Nagelsmann, the way they played, how intricate that is, that's not going to work.
I'm not disputing that. That's not what I'm saying is the fact that guys.
But Nagelsmann's not won anything in a league that Bayern Munich have won the league 10 years in a row.
Bro, City, Chelsea, and these lot we're not winning.
No, but he bought a league against Leicester. There was a season after when Chelsea won it that Spurs should have done way better than that season. Yeah. Every single cup competition that Spurs have been at, bar the Champions League, which was a 1 year, fantastic run and everything. He's not done anything in the League Cup. He's not done anything in the FA Cup. He's thrown the trophies away, like he's got a full cabinet at home full of trophies. And you can't be doing that. They've been playing one game a week.
I hear you.
They're not in any other competition.
But someone, I'm only saying it because this is what's going to happen. Someone will say the exact same thing if Nagelsmann was to come in, because I would want him. Do you understand what I'm saying? But
I get your point. He's not won anything, but I think
that's what I'm saying. We can't use that excuse of he hasn't won anything. That's what I'm going to highlight here, bro. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear that point.
I hear what you're saying, bro. But
let's leave it because we're talking about Poch too much here. All right, okay. Got a couple of questions here for the Chelsea lads. The boy will bring you in first. This is from a deal. This comment's been here for time, so I'm going to read it out now. Obviously, it's kind of on topic, to be fair, regarding managers. He's put, I would like Claudio Ranieri, I don't know, I can't flip read today. Ranieri back at Chelsea. He proved himself with Leicester and we did him dirty. Obviously, Prime's shaking hands straight away. The boy, bro, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, like Leicester, he did well, Leicester. I mean, Ranieri, if there was a Chelsea manager we would want back, I don't think Ranieri would be on the top of that list anyway. I mean,
who would be top of your list if there was one?
Ancelotti for me. I think he got done the dirtiest. I mean, and look what he's doing now at Everton. So, yeah, definitely Ancelotti.
Yeah, Prime, obviously, I've already know the answer, but what are your thoughts, bro?
Ranieri, okay, look, I love Ranieri for what he did for Chelsea. As much as people love Mourinho, and he's my favourite ever manager, Ranieri set the foundation for Mourinho can come in, bring in that philosophy, and for us to be successful, and where we are right now. That is what Frank is actually trying to do. Have that Ranieri effect to lay the foundations for the next manager to come in to be successful for the future. Ranieri's not going to do anything right now. People say Mourinho and Ancelotti's past it. So is Ranieri, to be honest. And I always loved the guy, but he's not in his prime anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. I don't know where he's got that from. I think that's the typical romance story, that one, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But let's bring him back. Got another question for the Chelsea lads. Again, this was asked a while ago. I'm not sure why this Fulham comment's coming back on the screen. I must have clicked about 90 times. It's just someone's comment saying Ranieri was the main reason that Fulham got relegated. I'm not going to comment on that, but it probably was.
That Fulham team was a shambles.
That Fulham team was a one side, bro.
In fact, that Fulham team was destined for failure. Same with a certain Cardiff team that a certain manager got relegated. All I'm saying. But coming back to another question. Another question from the same lad. He's asking about Mendy, and the boy will come to you first again, bro. He's basically asking, do you think Mendy is a long-term future? And what are your thoughts on Kepler? And also, while we're on the topic, what are your thoughts on bloody Peter Cech? They're coming out of retirement because I looked at Kepler training. And so, you know what? If this guy's playing as a professional footballer, I've still got hope by my old age. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, with Mendy, I think with goalkeepers, because, goalkeepers tend to be in their prime a lot later. I think Mendy's got every chance to be here for the long term. I mean, if he continues to play and perform to a high standard, then there's no reason why he can't be. I mean, we don't want to judge too soon because, we saw with Kepa, moving on to Kepa, actually, like, he started quite well. I mean, under Sarri, fans were on his side and, he was making some big saves and etc. But, you can see what happens if one thing changes. It can be a downward spiral. With Kepa, I just prefer not to speak on him, really. It could get messy. I just don't understand.
I've seen you
Man
tweets,
said-
bro. I've seen this tweets. Man said, if I speak, I'm in big trouble,
He just, I don't know.
If you change your photo to Jose Mourinho now, that would have just worked perfectly then.
Yeah. No, I think Kepa, like, it's one thing I don't understand. I get sympathy towards him, like, as a human being on a human being level. The abuse he gets. I get it's too far. Some people cross the line with it, but at the same time, this man, he's being paid £150,000 a week to stand still every week. I just don't understand.
Stand still.
He's got to justify the price. Exactly, he's a statue. So I just think Kepa, it's time he moves on, finds a club. I'm not sure if football's a career for him or if he's going to move into another profession, but
It might be good at modelling, to be fair. It's still a lot of time.
So,
God. So basically, what you're saying is time to go, as Claude was saying. Prime, what are your thoughts on obviously the goalkeeper situation?
Yeah, Kepa. Look, okay. I do think there is a good goalkeeper in there. It's not going to be at Chelsea. There's too much bad blood between the fans and him and everything. Mendy, look, Chelsea fans are getting gassed because it's the goalkeeper and he replaces Kepa, but you haven't actually watched him, so you don't know what he's like. And I looked into him, I did a bit of research and stuff. I wasn't overly happy because there are quite a few negatives. However, I'm reserving.
Reckless, isn't it? From what I've seen, anyways.
But I'm reserving judgment on him until the end of the season. He's been good so far, though. In the game against United, he was our standout player by far. But me personally, looking at it from the goalkeeper, he just had a good game that I would expect from any good goalkeeper. With Czech coming back, it could be that we're trying to get him alone in January. We're trying to get Kepa alone in January.
I was about to say, what, Czech?
No, it could be that we're trying to get him alone in January or something. So and Chelsea have done this before, having an much older goalkeeper as a third choice, just for experience within the squad. So it makes sense.
All right, fair enough. I was about to say something before I was interrupting you. Was that, to be fair, Mendy was the closest for scoring for us with that back pass. God knows what the hell was going on there. Like, what was he doing? Like, it was so close. So he definitely has those reckless moments. But just to finish off with the podcast, as always, if you're still tuning in, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Obviously, show love to the boys. Just one simple question, really, as the title suggests. We'll start with you, Bobs. Do you think any of these managers are going to take their clubs forward? And if not, why? You can answer for either, to be honest.
I think, do you know when Beat said Ollie's bipolar, I actually think Ollie will qualify out of this group in the Champions League. Just because it's Ollie, just because that's what Ollie does. Do you know what I mean?
My God.
Seriously, so my football opinion, I think no. No, because they're not good enough. No, because they're not good enough.
All right, fair enough. To be fair, it is a big question, and obviously a lot can sort of
Wait, sorry. You said you're not getting out of your group.
No, I'm saying no. Usmaan said his question was that do you see them going anywhere far and why?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, as in moving forward, not just in the not in that small Champions League.
Overall.
Overall.
Beg your pardon.
Yeah. Not just this season. Sorry, let me reiterate. Not just this season. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, because obviously, no one knows we'll probably get out of the Champions League group and we'll end up like 10th or some shit like that. So, because it's like as Big said, we're so bipolar at the moment. We don't really know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm talking the grand scheme of things. Do you think Ollie or Lampard can take the club back to where they belong in terms of challenging, potentially winning stuff, etc.?
I think more say potentially Lampard because he has the better players. And listen, good players will turn up once they all click. It's going to be a mazza. Do you know what I mean? I think with Ollie, he's still steadying the ship, but I still see him as that kind of guy. I mean, I think he's the guy that wants to smile and be everyone's friend. And personally, I don't think he's going to take us anywhere serious, if I'm honest. I don't see us winning a trophy under Ollie.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with the Ollie comments. The Lampard comments, I'm not 100% at the moment, I'll be honest, because I just don't know with Lampard. Again, we'll have to wait and see when CH is in the team. And,
Yeah.
you know, they have the opportunity to play 5-10 games together, so you have to obviously click. Beaks, thoughts? What, the same question? What do you reckon?
No, Ollie ain't gonna last, bro. Ollie ain't gonna last. That's right. He don't know what's going on. He don't know what day it is. When he wakes up, he kisses his wife. He asks his wife, "What's today?" I don't know. It's what it is. The thing is, he's not anywhere cheap, bro. Like what he's doing right now, cool. Like getting these results and whatnot, and I appreciate it. I appreciate him not causing me stress and allowing me to live my life. But overall, no, he's not gonna last. He's not gonna. You already, Usmaan, you already know how I feel about him, innit? To ask me that question, I know you have to do it, innit? But I just feel
Obviously,
like
I've got to ask you. I know what you're going to say anyways, but
I feel like a bro. I don't want to
ask for decoration in the job.
I get you. I just don't want to sound like a broken. I just honestly I wish him all the best, innit? When he goes in that life, I'll be there, innit?
So basically, what Beaks is saying is that he goes to sleep with Ollie pajamas on, basically. Yeah. So
bro, I'll be an advocate for that, bro.
Yeah. God, the boy, listen. This is obviously Adil was the one that asked the question about Ranieri. He's fuming. He goes, he wants to fight with you after the show. And I'm joking. He's not happy with the manner in which you dismissed his very logical question regarding Ranieri. But Ranieri aside, what are your thoughts on both managers in terms of the grand scheme of things? Do you think either can bring their club back to former glory, so to speak?
I mean, on Ranieri, response to that comment, I'm happy for Ranieri and Sampdoria. Wish them the best, but I think that's that. And in terms of Lampard and Ollie, it's a difficult one. I think with Ollie, I don't think he's the right one. I mean, in terms of Manchester United as a club and your history and sort of the pedigree of Manchester United, Ollie isn't the right profile for you to get back to that level. It's more of like steadying the ship. Yes, he's done that. Yeah. He's done well for what he can. I think he's reached his limits. I mean, that's not to say he's done badly. I think he's done quite well for what he can do. But I think this is the time where you need sort of a next level to take you on to challenge for Premier League titles again and, be more, more prevalent in Europe, etc. So I think, for Ollie, I think, it is time for him to move on and for someone else to come in and sort of take you again back to where you were. And then with Lampard, I think I'm personally one who's willing to give him time. I think we're so used to being so reactionary that we've been our judgment's clouded now that every time, a manager draws or loses just one game, we suddenly want them out. So I think with Chelsea, it's a bit different. We need to give him time, Lampard, and hopefully he can take Chelsea back to winning challenging for titles again. But I think it's two different situations, and I think Ollie's reached his limits, whereas Lampard's just started out, and I want to see where he can go with it.
Yeah, to be honest, I think you've summed it perfectly. I think I probably agree with everything you said. Apart from, when you've said that you hope Lampard takes it back to top, because I definitely don't hope that happens. But, that's just a rival of our joke, and obviously, it is. But, Prime, just to finish off the show, bro, what are your thoughts on, both managers, just to wrap it up?
Yeah. If both managers are trying to transition the team and get them to a place where they can build for the future, I just think you both got to just give them time and understand that the pressures that they have. Look at Ollie at United, the restrictions he personally has with the board and not being able to get all the signings that he wants. Frank being a young manager who is inexperienced and he is going to make mistakes. Those are side effects that we all got to understand that they have and got to let them go through with that. How long is it going to be for them at their respective clubs until it is time to bring in a better manager? I think about a season or two. By the end of the season, I think we should really see where both squads are, and if it's then time to bring in a better manager to start winning things.
Yeah, no, I to be honest, I do agree with the comments on Ollie first and foremost from everyone. Really, I think he's done a good job. Actually, I think he's steadied the ship. He's got rid of a bit of deadwood, and I actually think we've got a fantastic squad. You know, you've got to remember we had Cavani, Greenwood, Pogba, Van de Beek. We've not really spoken about much in the video. Again, we'll leave that for another day. But you know, we had them on the bench, and that's without Martial as well. And in general, I think that's a fantastic team now we've got. So, from Ollie's perspective, I think he's got to get top four minimum. If he doesn't get top four, then it's a fail. And I think he needs to win a trophy. I think he's got to get top four, win a trophy to turn the fans around. That's the only way the fans will say, okay, fair enough, we'll give you benefit of doubt. If he doesn't do both of them, then I don't think he'll be at the end of the season. He might not even last a couple of weeks. We might be in a couple of weeks saying Pochettino, Allegri, etc., so forth. Regarding Lampard, I hear what you're saying, Du Bois. Like, in terms of you want to be patient, I just don't think Abramovich is going to be patient. Although he's backed him to the hills in terms of with the players, I just think if you start having a couple of bad results, especially in December when you have a lot of games back to back, I think he's going to pull the trigger. I'm not saying he will he will get a lot of bad results, but I can imagine him pulling the trigger, because Pochettino's not going to be there for ages. I don't know if you guys even want Pochettino, to be fair, but he's not going to be there for a long time. Yeah, obviously as a Chelsea fan, I'm expecting you're not going to want him. But listen, we're going to wrap up the videos there. I was going to say a massive thank you to our guests. I genuinely really enjoyed it. It was a class show as always. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But before we go, as we always do, we're going to give you guys an opportunity to shout out whatever socials you wish to shout out on these obviously YouTube channels you got. So Prime, as it's in order, we'll start with you first, bro. Like, obviously, where can they find you?
Yeah, it's my Twitter right there, Latimus Prime X, and you know, follow me on Twitter and engage with me and stuff like that. I always reply whenever I can, and on the Football Terrace as well, is where I'm usually at. So catch me there.
Yes. Go check him out on Twitter and obviously Football Terrace as well. Fantastic channel. A lot of our other regulars, such as Flores and Aaron, feature on that channel as well. So make sure you go show them love. Same question for you, Du Bois. Where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is CFC Dubois, as it is on the screen. I mean, don't take my tweets too seriously over time. I mean, I do tend to take the piss sometimes, but apart from that, that's it. Just thank you for having me on, and I really enjoyed the debate today, so it was really good.
Yeah, no, absolutely class. We'll definitely get you guys both on if you're up for it. And of course, Beaks, it's your boy Beaks. You kind of calm today. I don't know what's up with you. You're not got angry anymore. You're not shouting on you out every 5 seconds. It's all good. Beaks, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, I'm calm. It's Sunday, man. Come on, G. Holy day and that. Now catch me on the socials at Beats Corner on Twitter. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on Usman's channel. I'm on YouTube as well, so just type in Beats Corner, you see the orange logo. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to Usman's channel, man. Always in upwards. And make sure you go follow the boys, man.
Yes, love. And also just obviously he's not said it, and it's both Beats and Prime did record a video. I seen the tweet earlier. I did Prime tweet that actually. So they recorded a video earlier that will be on Beaks' channel at some point. So make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. As he said, Beaks_Corner is a regular on our channel. So make sure you go and support him as well on his socials, man. He's a homie for life, yo. And Bits and Bobs representing Scotland. That's what your impression of being down. I messed up. I'll do for the next video, I promise. Listen, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, so what? It's your boy Bits and Bobs. Yo, that's my Twitter handle. Hit me up if you want content on obviously football and obviously for some realist tweets. And hit me up and I'll engage. YouTube channel Bits and Bobs without the underscore. Yeah, up and coming YouTuber from Scotland.
Love to see it. Love to see obviously representing McSauce, as you would say. Listen,
just before he goes, man. Listen, Havertz was in his pocket. He didn't play well. I'm just going to say that, yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You proper left on the bombshell there. Listen,
don't let me speak.
That's going to open another kind of worms, that one. Listen, I love how it's going. It is what it is. Anyways, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We will do another video similar to this, so make sure you stay tuned. And as I've already said, show love to all of their socials. We appreciate all the support. Anyways, it's been your host, Usmaan Akhtar. We'll catch you tomorrow, I believe. I don't know if I've got a video tomorrow. Probably have.